Welcome back to Power Ranger Shadow Omens episode 20. The big 2-0, 2-zit. Last time, our lovely Rangers exploded a training facility, tried to break into a laser-induced surveillance compound, joined a cult? Almost joined a cult. And somebody got pistol whipped. They started killing people like they typically do. Body counts for SO is kind of pretty high compared to all the other Rangers. It's kind of embarrassing almost. Thorsten got kidnapped. Thorsten got rescued, and we finished off with the lovely bombshell of what seems to be Yarrow, Orchid's older brother, dropping some words of it seems to be playing with Orchid and the gang, leaving them some food, some little games to play with, some little hidden Easter eggs. But with that, let's kind of do a small little recap on what we got going on here in terms of our players. It has been quite a little bit, 20 whole episodes, probably over 40 hours of footage. It's pretty crazy. Wait, would it be over 40? No, wait. We've had a couple like crazy ones.
The last episode like 4 hours.
The last one was literally like 2 minutes from 5 hours. Like it was like 3 minutes from 5 hours.
Still better than all the other Ranger shows. Let's go. Come on, boys.
It's probably one of the longest. It's probably one of the longest that we've had on Project Squadron, including the crossovers. But yeah, close to 40 hours, I would say, with our 19 episodes so far. So let's give a little kind of recap and introduction of what we got with our players. We have Adam.
Hello, I am Adam. The green Shadow Omen Ranger. My spectrum color is red. Can't get a goddamn shot off with using his range power weapon attack, and photographer of the group.
And then we have Orchid.
Hello. I am Orchid, a Butalon, Pink Ranger and Pink Color Spectrum of the Shadow Omens team. Ex-child soldier for Ransik, turned Silver Guardian, turned Time Force Ranger, turned Shadow Omens Ranger. In this new world, faced with his past once again.
Then we have Soren.
Hello, Soren, Indigo Ranger, White Spectrum for those knowledgeable. Former freedom fighter in the previous dimension, still dealing with some trauma over losing his best friend and his group in that time, and he's slowly finding his feet in this new world. Last time he was giving some inspiration to everybody. So he's finally finding his feet and trying to help out, and also having some existential problems with having another version of him in this timeline or in this universe, and learning how to be a Silver Guardian and protect people again, and finding enjoyment in this new world compared to Universe 0.
And then I would say Benji, but we are sadly missing our dear little boy this time around.
We'll call him Benji the dog.
That's very rude of you. He's a cat.
You're right. He is a cat.
A beast, some might say. Yumadaku might not like being called a cat, but apparently likes being called Garfield, at least allegedly. But we do finally have Thorsten Redgrave.
Yep, Thorsten Redgrave. He grew up part of the Silver Guardians due to his parents. He is the Silver Shadow Omen Ranger, Green Spectrum, and essentially he's filled the role of Team Dad, more or less, because apparently somebody needs a moral compass somewhere, and he ends up being that oftentimes, or just the voice of reason one way or another. Who knows? He's just literally flying by the seat of his pants most days, just trying to keep everybody alive, and it ends up going a matter of he's got to step up sometimes.
Yeah, and that is our lovely, dysfunctional, functioning team of Shadow Omen Silver Guardian Rangers. But with that, let us take us back into this lovely warehouse where this show and tell took place, the aftermath, with the Bluetooth live wire on Thorsten going static and the words of Yarrow echoing and settling into the eardrums of Orchid, Benji, and Soren. And Thorsten, Adam, nowhere to be found, fleeing to the local medical facility with a whiplashed Zoe Brooks. Thorsten coming to a little bit from his daze.
Thorsten, you there?
What,
Shakes him a bit.
where the hell am I?
Good, you can talk. Remember how we were going to come sort of interrupt this showing of the weird metal? Turns out you made it after all.
I can feel myself tied up still, right? All chained up and stuff.
You're muted.
You have handcuffs on.
All right,
We'll,
cool.
we'll help you, civilian. I say, glancing around.
He just kind of remembers after, like, his brain finally, quote unquote, rebooting after everything. Like, oh, of course, they jumped me. Well, that's more than a little embarrassing. And frankly, I'm gonna tap into a little of that power that a certain yokai has given me to try and break the cuffs off me if possible.
Yeah. How do you do this? Do you kind of like speak out to Geen, or like what? How do you like try to tap into this?
So I kind of like focus and then start slowly, like you can see his body tensing, and he slowly starts to pull his arms apart behind him, because I'm assuming they're cuffed behind me, to start trying to use the leverage to snap them apart.
As you do this, you feel a tense pain through your body, coursing through your veins, as you try to like budge against the shackles, and to no avail. You're not able to do anything.
Well, once he fails at doing that, I'm like, can one of you just get me out of these damn things?
Yeah. Maybe like if one of us grab one wrist and the other one grabs the other. No.
You're gonna break his hands.
Is anyone good at like lock picking or anything like that?
Yeah, I could try.
Right.
Yeah, I'm gonna shoot the cuffs off.
I was expecting that, or one of you just to take the blade to him.
Oh, I was ready for Tonto Part 2.
Same.
That's like this will require all my skills, and horror punches through the glass case.
From outside, Adam's spine tingles like, oh, sounds like someone needs a Tonto.
Orchid and his explosive Tonto strikes again. Yeah, no, you so you shoot it off?
Yeah.
Yeah, you shoot right through it. It kind of like
fumble.
it kind of like singes the metal, kind of like burns a little bit.
I could have done that, I guess. I just choose not to. I mean, if we want to scorch him anyway, how are you all right, Thorsten? I mean, civilian. Say, glancing around.
Well, there's nobody around.
Okay, then that we know of.
Well, I guess
But
suppose. I mean, there is this guy that's unconscious, but
Mhm.
I feel
fine.
like
That's fine. That's fine.
Yeah.
So I just say, are you all right? Do you have any injuries, anything like that?
Nothing that's life threatening. I'll be fine. He would have, like, at least when he heard Orchid was gonna shoot the damn things off him, he would have, like, shifted just right to make it easier for him. So that when he felt them separate, he can bring his arms around
No.
before trying to get to his feet and, like, rubbing at his wrists.
Orchid, did you shoot them with foxfire, or did you like shuriken them?
Oh, with Foxfire.
Okay, yeah, when you shot it, like you just like straight like hole in the ground, just like a clean just shot exactly where you aimed. If Thorsten just bent a little bit too much to the left or to the right, one of his fingers probably would have been taken with it.
Get another finger, you know? Knowing, this time's medicine, it's probably super crazy, right?
I suppose.
Let's not test that.
I mean, like, listen, Adam had a hole in his chest, bro, and they were like, "We got you."
So did I.
Exactly.
And that was
fine.
mostly
You think they can't heal
yokai.
a finger?
That was mostly yokai that did that.
Ah, you potato.
Potato.
Potato, tomato.
But yeah, as you kind of like kind of like stretch out and like kind of like roll your hand and kind of like get feeling back to your wrist and everything, Thorsten, you feel like very heavy for a moment as you notice on your forearms, and this is when the rest of you guys notice this also, now that his forearms are a lot more visible. He kind of like where his veins are, he kind of has like this like these blue, like almost vibrant glow through his veins as they little by little like start fading away.
He'll definitely look at that, considering the, distinctive difference between the ink on his arm for one of them and that. Like, what the hell is this?
It'll pick up the handcuffs that fell off.
Mm-hmm.
Does it seem to be that key metal?
While inspecting it, they just seem to be regular handcuffs.
I'll say to Thorsten, well, I'm not sure why that's happening to you, but this metal that they have seems to do some very weird things. Is there still like, because they at first they did the demonstration with like the wooden board where they shot it and then it like decomposed or whatever?
Yeah.
Is there any remnants of that at all?
Of like the wooden board?
Yeah, just like a pile of dust or whatever.
At this point, yeah, it's just like little lumps on the floor of like kind of like eroded mush, like kind of becoming like just like nothing, but also just kind of like a melt to it.
I know Soren was cut by by that metal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where he was cut, does it look similar to the marks that Thorsten has on his arms?
Not at all.
That's weird.
As you guys are pondering this, and Thorsten's like, "What the hell?" As they like start fading away, they kind of just like completely disappear off of you, and your veins look normal again, or like where your veins are under your skin. I don't. Is Thorsten the type to have bulging veins? I want to say no, but you tell me.
I mean, the only way to get bulging veins like that is to highly dehydrate yourself and then work out like a motherfucker. So depends on A, how long he's been there, and B, would you consider being chained up for workout?
Well, you were in a high stressful situation, so in some way it's a workout. Secondly, I feel like some people just genetically have like visible veins. I guess bulging is not the right adjective to use, but like
I mean, it it all really depends. It's hard to say. Naturally, probably not the most visible, like on a normal basis, if
But-
that makes sense.
okay, I was just curious. Yeah, no. So like where the underlying veins would be in your skin that were pulsating, now they're gone, and you just see your regular skin and tats. And as you do that, and you kind of feel as they fade away, and you're like looking at yourself, you feel a sense of like hundreds of pounds just off of you, and you feel lighter again, like almost normal. And from your chest, like almost like a pull, pops out Gin, who until now was nowhere to be found.
He would look at Keen before looking at his arms again. Is it me or was something off just now?
Gin starts composing himself, breathing a little bit heavily. I would like to never have that happen again.
What happened?
Something
Did it
hurt.
Did it feel like he wasn't there for me? Would that be the best description of what just happened?
I would say you would immediately notice once he pops out that, oh yeah, he wasn't there. But I would argue, but from how you kind of felt in the moment and like how you were playing things out, Thorsten wouldn't have really thought about that until like that moment where he like actually felt Gin's present again. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it wasn't noticeable to him until Keen came back.
Yeah. Is it one of those things was like, what is like, you don't notice you lost something until it's like, well, I guess it's
Until it came back.
yeah, until it came back and you're like, oh wait, that was missing the whole time.
Yeah.
But yeah,
They somehow separated us too. Or sealed the other one off from each other. I don't know what the hell just happened, but
well, whatever it was or whoever it was seems to have sealed my powers away, sealed me within my host.
either way. Either way, that's not a comfortable feeling after all this. Alright. What's next?
We need to talk to Eric. We need to clean all this up.
Clean what up? I'm assuming I'm starting to notice the surroundings.
Yeah, I think at that point you would see between the bodies surrounding, especially you now standing up and like kind of like getting adjusted and like with everything going on, like looking over Benji and around Orchid and Soren, seeing everything that's happening. Noticing the pools of blood, the broken staircase over here. Oh, that was another thing. Yeah, Adam completely just destroyed this staircase. To you, it just looks like a bunch of rubble of like wood and plasters. You don't even know what the hell is going on over here, but you see a body just under a bunch of rubble with a bunch of blood, and you see this guy here also with a decent pool of blood.
Considering I notice all of that, he just kind of looks around before looking at them like, please tell me this didn't happen right off the bat.
Well, there was a whole like speech first.
Tell me you didn't escalate this.
I didn't escalate this.
It is the truth.
Can I tell that? No, this is Thorsten legitimately trying to make sure that their asses are covered because this looks
so
awful. It's one thing in their world, it's completely different here, and he knows that.
So I know how Orchid answered that question. The real question is, how were you asking that question? Were you asking if Orchid escalated this, or if you, as in like the team?
The team.
So you can roll to see how you interpret Orchid's question or answer.
Okay, what am I rolling?
I mean,
because this is a question he would legitimately ask and want to know.
Yeah, roll me.
It would be alertness, right?
Yeah, it would be alertness.
I was gonna say, I guess alertness. Like, I hate
yeah, that's
it.
the insight. It's so weird.
Yeah, because it's like it would be like a social thing, but it's like I don't. Yeah, roll me alertness.
All right.
Streetwise, like.
I was gonna say like streetwise, but like.
I guess if you want to play it off like with rolls, I would say Orchid rolls deception, or not deception.
Well, no, because Orchid, because
yeah.
Again, I know how Orchid answered that question, but it's how Thorsten is interpreting the answer.
Yeah, it's how I'm trying to figure out, like, are we, as much as he didn't want to have this happen, are we gonna end up having issues out of this?
You know what? This is how I've been doing it so far. Roll me a d20 plus a d2 against your cleverness.
All right. One sec.
You're good. Okay.
19.
19 versus your cleverness of 13.
Yes.
Yeah. You you
Even though I know, like, seeing through their suits, it's not, I can't read their faces, but like body language is generally telling me, like, no, legitimate, like, I'm getting the idea of, okay, no, it was the other side that escalated it to this level.
You realize how you know exactly how Orchid answered that question, and you're not sure if that completely puts to ease your concern. But you at least know. But you at least know the killer didn't escalate the deaths.
No, instead that just puts a different concern on him instead. Like, all right, I'm assuming they were all loaded with this metal, the key metal, I think it was called.
Yes.
All right. Like, you can see him trying to legitimately figure this out. Like, he's not perturbed so much about the fact that their bodies, this isn't new to him. It's the fact that he's having to deal with it in a world that completely different rules that he's trying to play within. So now he's trying to piece together how to move forward. It's like, I think the best thing to do right now is leave, is contact Eric. Get them here as soon as possible. Like, this needs to be locked down. No one comes back in here. And we need to make sure at least one of these weapons doesn't disappear. Because we need 100% proof that this is an issue. If this got to this level, that means clearly they were using this against us.
They were planning on it. It seemed
Either
like their
way.
goal was to take down the Power Rangers.
I would imagine so,
Excuse me.
given their efforts so far. Do we have any more leads?
It's possible that my brother is behind this.
He'll, like, level his gaze on Orchid completely. Possible or probable.
It was his voice that came out of that little speaker around your neck.
I think by now he would have noticed that now, only because, like, the adrenaline of A, waking up in a strange place, and B, seeing bodies everywhere might have distracted him.
Mm-hmm.
So he pulls the thing off his neck and looks at it.
Could always be some yokai trickery, though.
Did this seem one way, or did he respond?
It seemed like he was able to see and hear what we were doing.
It's gonna take a moment before speaking, and we're taking this with us to see if this was a matter of they can hear everything that you said, or if they were watching us.
All right. Orchid's gonna call up Eric.
Time force.
That's the ringtone.
Power. And he's yeah. No. It rings and he's like, go ahead for Eric.
This is Orchid. We've secured Thorston and the warehouse.
Good. Was there any innocent casualties?
Looks around. No, I don't think so.
Okay. Well, get back here as quick as possible. I'll send a team out to clean everything up.
I think you better double that team. All the people here had these weird weapons. Remember that metal we talked about before?
Yes.
It would have pierced the ranger suits. They all had it. Swords, a gun. This was a big demonstration. Seemed like their goal was to take down the Power Rangers.
Just my luck. All right. Well, like I said, get back here as soon as possible. I'll have my team deal with that warehouse, and we'll get to the bottom of this.
Yeah, with that, Orchid will end the call. And before leaving, Orchid will make sure to take that gun that had the key bullets.
Mm-hmm. Do you like unload it at all, or do you just take the gun and pocket it?
I mean, until like just in here, he would just take it and pocket it at
Yeah.
first. If he was told get home as soon as possible, he wouldn't waste time with that.
Mm-hmm.
Though he also knows or thinks that this person up here is still alive.
You didn't go for the head, so orchid logic would be like clearly he's still alive.
Yeah.
Even though he lost lots of blood and got shot 3 times.
After like grabbing the gun, he would look back to Thorsten and Soren. We should probably take that guy with us. Gesturing over to the speaker of the house.
Seeing his current state, I think I'm gonna have Thorsten actually walk over to see if they're still breathing first.
For sure. You walk over and like, do you like, how do you do this?
Checking pulse, like seeing, basically checking for breathing, checking for pulse.
Yeah. So you drop down to a knee and you go ahead and you reach out and you like, check his neck for a pulse and try to like feel or hear if he's still breathing. And as like you're removing your hand from his neck, you just hear as he reaches out and grabs you by the forearm very, very tightly.
He's also gonna grab his arm like instinctively in a very defensive way, ready to do anything in case he tries anything.
Yeah, as you guys lock eyes, you just see just soulless pupils staring back at you. No pain, no fear, no real emotions, just the tight grip and like the struggle of to stay awake.
He'll see this before calling back. Someone give me some bandages. We're patching this guy up and keeping him alive.
Does Orchid carry bandages?
Benji runs up with his bandages. That's a silly question. Orchid checks his pockets, pulls out a knife, pulls out a grenade, pulls out like some other like just random weapon, pulls out like a flail. Like he's like, nah, I got nothing in my bag of tricks. But Benji, I would say at this point, runs up and starts very distastefully patching this guy up.
Benji is like the EMT training, right?
Mm-hmm.
Gotcha.
Yeah. He's sticking by just to make sure that this individual doesn't try anything. But
he definitely struggles and resists the force of Thorsten and Benji, but doesn't have the power at the moment to really do anything about it. So I'm gonna say Benji's able to patch him up and stop whatever remaining blood leakage he has, as he kind of like slowly like passes back out unconscious.
I think in the meantime, we'll call up Winston for extraction.
You just hear the burning of rubber outside as Winston pulls up.
Burning rubber.
Yeah.
During
where's Adam? We cut to Adam.
Yeah. During all of this, Adam, what happens when you run out the front door with Zoe?
Oh, trying to think. I would say Adam was like checking on her. Like, of course, he knows she's alive still, but just fell back into unconsciousness. Um, I would feel he would call. I guess he would call Eric first. Timeline wise, he would call Eric first. I go Eric and the like a Silver Guardian extraction. I guess
Mm-hmm.
like to like EMT type deal.
Yeah, you get uh a covert
Oh,
silver guard silver guardian like uh health health van to come and take her and kind of like hook her up just for like vitals and such, just to like make sure that anything. They let you know that she has a slight concussion, but that besides that she's fine.
all right. Yeah,
Um,
I say I'll give them to I'll give Zoe to them, to the people in the Silver Guardians, covert Silver Guardians.
yeah. So you English. They drive off, leaving you there in the the empty night road. You hear Ichibot call out, ah, boss.
Oh, yeah, like Adam D morphs. Yeah, what's up? Yeah, what's up, Ichiban?
Um,
What's up, my guy? And like Adam kind of like shakes or kind of like scratches the back of his head.
um, you're okay, right?
Oh yeah, I'm perfect. You know. Yeah, I feel like Adam's like kicking like some rubble or like some dirt and stuff. Like
Ah,
kind of like fidgeting. Yeah.
he scratches like the back of his like collarbone. Um, ah, I'm not really good with it. God dang it. What's wrong, Adam? This is not your normal self.
I don't know. I just this anger, this rage came over me.
It happens to the best of us, but it seems like it came from a good place. So you shouldn't let it
Yeah,
eat you up.
hopefully. Yeah, well, it's not like what happened at the fire, but like it was like different. You know, it felt stronger, but like I was also scared of it. I I, I don't know. I just felt this anger, and I think I need to keep it in check. I'll try to at least.
Um, Death brings along a lot of grief and sadness and anger and a lot of emotions that I'm not too familiar with. Um, of course, but I do know if you do have a sense of fear, the negativity, the darkness will eat you. And when it comes to death and the afterlife, if you don't keep it in check, it can swallow you whole.
No, I will keep it in check. Don't worry.
Um, well, I'm always here for you, right?
Yeah, yeah, little buddy, and kind of like grab him, like like do a little noogie on him type of deal.
He's like, okay, knock it off. This is enough.
I got you. Yeah.
This is enough sentimental stuff. And he kind of just like tries to like push himself off of you.
Yeah, I let him go after he tries to like push me off. Like, yeah, yeah, all right. Just playing around with you, bud. It's all right. But but thank you. Yeah, I'll think about it.
Um, should we go back to the warehouse now, or?
Checks his make believe watch. I think I think I would just wait outside out here. I'll just take some couple shots of the place for Eric and for us.
Sounds like a plan. As I would say at this point, this would be when like Orchid, Soren, Thorsten, and Benji would be wrapping up, bandaging and tying this guy up to like carry slash lead him out. Well, he is unconscious. Carry him out.
You take the feet, I take the head, or
He's not that heavy. Thorsten can probably carry him by himself.
okay. But
Good
is
boy.
Thorsten, but is Thorsten well enough to after his wrists were burned, sorta?
Oh, he didn't feel the singe of Orchid. It just he probably would have felt missing a finger, but nah. Orchid's blast was nothing. But yeah. At this point, would Orchid and Soren, would you guys demorph at this point or not yet?
I don't think Orchid would. Even when it would probably seem appropriate to.
What about you, Soren? Soren?
Thorin. Let's pour in.
Did Soren die?
No. Sorry, my mic went out there. My sound.
Oh, okay. Are you gonna demorph or nah?
Yeah. I'm gonna demorph. I'll do that on the character sheet as well.
All right. Yeah. So I'd say Benji, kind of is doing Benji things with administering or making sure there's nothing wrong with this evil guy. Winston pulls up, and as you guys walk out, you see the van open up, and Adam is already sitting in the back seat. He got picked up first.
Adam was, hey guys.
Hello.
And then
Yeah.
You missed
What did I miss? Oh, hey Thurston, how you feel?
Like my pride is a little bruised, but I'll be fine.
Alan gives like a thumbs up. Yeah, all right.
We're gonna make sure nobody else gets in here until Eric shows up with everybody else.
You do hear in like kind of like the echo of like the quiet night sky, the roaring of engines as some cars start pulling up in the horizon into the outskirts over the hill.
Speaking of,
should we talk to them?
I think Eric should be told of what all of you dealt with. I'm unfortunately not going to be able to give much in terms of information.
Yeah, so as they start pulling up, before they get fully in sight, Orchid will finally demorph.
The Silver Guardians know we're Power Rangers, right? Or I know.
The
No.
Silver Guardians knows of Power Rangers working with the Silver Guardians, but they don't know of the identities. Eric has not given your identities to anybody. The only people that know your identities are
The people in the mansion and the
lab. Yeah, they're the only two facilities, only two properties that house NPCs that know who you guys are.
Okay.
And my brother.
And Yarrow, who's in neither of those that we know of,
Somehow.
hypothetically speaking.
Allegedly.
And maybe
Assuming he
Chris,
hasn't already got
the
in.
real villain of the story is Chris. He knows who we are.
Chris is Yarrow all
Damn
along.
it, Chris. I knew I should have put you down when I had the chance.
The first day I saw you.
They said I was crazy.
It's just a mask as your brother all along. I would have got away
Eric
with it
was
too if
actually
it
my
wasn't
brother the whole
for
time.
all of you and your stupid cat.
Skeleton suit.
Cat.
Yeah,
I guess.
My fox too.
Thorsten, you want us to talk to the Silver Guardians that show up and let them know what's up? Was that the implication with what you were saying? Thorsten?
did he die?
Okay. Well, I guess Orchid would interpret that probably.
Yeah, I think I'll go up with Orchid because he has
Yeah.
Adam has some explaining to do.
And
also.
he'll wait for the
So-
people to arrive.
Sorry, can you guys repeat that? I was having to ask a question real quick out off the side.
Yeah,
What was going
it
on?
was like out of character. I was asking, were you implying that we should wait outside until the other Silver Guardians arrive to make sure and like talk to them and make sure that everything is handled properly with the correct seriousness?
Yes, and Thorsten's gonna heavily advise you guys to remain morphed in that time frame, considering we're all aware that no one other than the parties who we know are aware of us. You know, basically, we're trying to keep our identities as secret as possible. I don't have to worry about that, given the fact that I am already, as I am.
Mm-hmm. Well, so you guys are in the books the new first response team, squad 0 or squad 1, after their horrible decommissioning during the first attack from Gardor. You guys took their place. So you guys, you're not known to be rangers, but it would make sense if they ran into you guys here, since you are response team. You are the first responders.
Oh, okay.
I mean, we
so
don't
then-
necessarily have to explain what happened. We just got to explain what they have to do. And like how serious this is.
So doing
When
it
you guys
in
were
ranger
fostered.
or normal doesn't change too much in terms of like giving your identities away, if that's what you're kind of going after there, Thorsten.
Yeah, I wasn't sure how much the Silver Guardians were aware of us being rangers. I'm trying to make sure that isn't.
Yeah. You guys are not known to be like Orchid is not tied to the Pink Ranger. Like you get like they're considered two different people, of course. But you guys are known to be Squad 1 as Thorsten,
Okay,
Soren,
so
Orchid,
then-
Benji, and Adam.
Then never mind. I'll probably say the opposite, where we responded first to some. Essentially, we should look like the Silver Guardians rather than the Rangers as much as possible.
Mm-hmm.
Why has Orchid and the Pink Ranger never been seen in the same?
Don't worry about that.
Listen, I only associate with Red Rangers, okay? I don't like
Oh,
those off reds.
well,
I don't even want to be seen near them, okay?
off reds. It's the new off white. It's the off white from your
Off-red.
from your universe.
Yeah, but Orchid has demorphed and he's gonna be standing guard in his normal Silver Guardians outfit. I don't know if anybody else.
I was gonna say,
Yeah.
like, definitely Benji, Soren, and Adam definitely would be in regular clothing because they were like the undercover people.
Yeah,
And
Orchid
then,
wasn't planning on going undercover.
yeah,
He
and
was
then
there in his normal sniper
Thorsten
gear.
also would be because he never made it back home. He got Ranger napped before he made it back to the mansion. So you're the only one in Silver Guardian attire.
Well, I think Adam would have like his badge like inside his coat type of deal. Like, oh yeah, like his.
Oh
like, a
yeah,
badge.
yeah. They definitely would. If you guys mention your names, like they would know. They don't know you guys by face, of course, because they're just random, like cadets just doing the legwork.
These newbies here.
These newbies. But yeah, they show up and they approach and they see you guys.
Guns raised.
You guys must be Squad 1.
That's correct.
We got the call. We brought extra help. We were told. What seems to be the situation? We were told there's a cleanup.
Yes, this is incredibly serious here. Orchid will walk them into the warehouse.
The one that's talking to you follows behind you, and like as you open up and like you kind of move to the side, and he like sees everything. He goes, kind of just like takes it all in and just like stumbles back a little bit out of like the warehouse, just like the light from inside shining on him in the doorway, and he's just like, okay, I was not ready for that one.
Listen, the bodies are secondary to the most important thing here, which is the individuals here have weapons made of metal that is of the utmost importance to the Silver Guardians. None of them are allowed to go missing. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir. And he, like,
There's also a survivor in there who needs to be taken in for medical treatment and kept under complete and utter watch for questioning. He's a suspect.
Alrighty. I think we could do that with no problem. Let me get the rest of the team out here. As he radios in from his earpiece to get everybody over, and you see 2 vans just open up on all the doors, and just like a bunch of people SWAT out from like their like SWAT like vans. So just to get this straight, you guys are not taking the survivor. You're leaving it up to these guys.
I mean, I thought that's what we were doing, was taking the person who was alive with us.
Yeah.
As far as I knew, he was outside with us already, because we took him.
Oh, I'm sorry. I must have misunderstood then. That's on me.
I mean, I don't know what happened.
No.
Devin,
So the alive guy is definitely outside with you, but it's just the case if you're
Mhm.
handing him over or not.
It wouldn't be Orchid's plan to hand him over.
I would say we keep him.
That's what Orchid was doing, unless somebody says something else.
Can we keep him, Dad?
Yeah.
Honestly, I mean, unless we're 100% sure that they're fully stabilized, Thorsten would probably think to then, instead of saying what he did, to like have him taken to the medical facility, but under complete lockdown and with no one else other than them talking to him, so they can get the proper questions answered. Because he doesn't want some stupid crap happening where, you know, they end up losing out on the chance to question him before, I don't know, bleeds out. Because yeah, sure, they stabilize him then. What happens later? You know what I mean?
We put him in a hospital, and then they just blow up another hospital.
No, Silver Guardians medical facility, not a random hospital.
Random local medical facility. But alrighty,
I
yeah.
would figure Eric's mansion would have a medical facility / interrogation room.
It has a small healing ward. You guys actually walked in there one time after his slight run-in with Guden Des. That's where he was getting healed up by Persephone. So there's like a small little makeshift medical bay in the medical in the mansion.
I think we'll be able to keep him alive long enough.
And from all accords, like it doesn't take Benji solely, because he's the one that's quote unquote trained in this thing. Like you guys all could tell very well that like he's not bleeding anymore, and his breathing is stable. Like he's not gonna die if you guys don't hand him over. Like he's not in critical condition anymore.
Got it.
Can I want to do one thing. Adam is gonna go back into the warehouse and take or grab one of their swords,
Okay.
just out of curiosity, because this metal just cut him, and he wasn't able to morph.
When you
That
pick it
fight.
up, what do you like? Exactly do you do with it?
I just look at it and examine it, and I just examine it basically.
Yeah, you notice that it's like a very sleek, very shiny, reflective, black metal, like very dark, like almost like not even like almost darkness. It's shiny and reflective, but when you look into it, you can't see your reflection. It's almost like it's there, but it's not there. And then for a moment, you have to like snap out of it because like it's almost like you were looking into like a endless hole.
I'd imagine it has like a sheath, right, for the sword, like on their back.
Yeah, it was on the back of all of them.
So I'm gonna grab that sheath from one of the bodies and like put it back and bring the sword out.
Yeah, you go ahead and sheath it and you bring it out with you. You guys get in the van with Winston. You guys start driving off.
So funny. I just told that Silver Guardian, don't let any of these weapons go missing.
Well,
And-
I let him know. I imagine like, hey, cadet, I'm taking this sword with me.
I like to think he didn't even notice you taking it. Like,
Oh,
That
okay,
would
then
be
alright.
worse.
Turned
That
around,
would
you
be
walked
very
in, took
bad.
it.
It's like don't let anybody, don't
like
let any of this
Orca's
go
like,
missing.
oh my god.
Well, I'll let
And he's
I'll
like,
let
right
the cadet
away.
know.
Right away, even though it's Adam, it could have been anybody.
Yeah.
Um,
I guess we'll go with
that.
Orchid doesn't know Adam took a sword.
but yeah, you guys get into the car with Winston. You guys start driving away. In the rear view, you guys are able to see the warehouse and the chaos left behind as everybody is filtering into it and like cleaning stuff up. You see body bags coming in and out, or you see them taking in body bags, I should say, and like other like materials to kind of just clean up the mess.
We hear in the background one of the soldiers say, "Hey, where's the sword? One of the swords are missing."
Oh no! Squad
We
1 is gonna
already
have our
failed.
head. We failed them. They all shoot themselves.
They just replace it with like a plastic replica.
They're like,
they
no
won't
one will
notice.
know. They just replace with like a wood.
They go to like a cosplay store to grab a sword, like a katana,
Yeah.
basically.
Yeah, these are wakazashis. They're between a
They
katana
didn't
and
have enough
between
metal for real swords.
between your
Yeah.
tantos. You're calling a wakazashi not a real sword?
This is a real weapon.
It's bigger than your tantos.
You call
That's
that
true.
a knife, but this is a knife. That's
It's
a
not
spoon.
big enough for katanas because katanas are huge for no reason, or long, I should say.
Call that a knife. This is a knife. It's like a buster sword.
Not a real weapon. Like this
Yeah.
Buster sword here.
A real
I
weapon.
mean, that's what Cloud swings around, and it works perfectly fine. But anyways, yeah. So as you guys are driving away, is anything you guys say amongst each other, or is it a silent ride home?
Well, that was interesting time, though. We do have to look into what those that fancy metal does, and if there's a way to stop it. Say sort of brushing at the spot where I was slashed earlier. I say because that was pretty devastating, to say the least.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, talking about the metal. I pull out the sword that I took with us. That I took.
Would you stop pulling out swords?
You start stabbing people.
You pull it out in a really closed space with a bunch
Well,
of
no,
rangers.
I don't pull it out all the way. I just like show like, like in anime they pull it out slightly with the thumb type of deal, and it shows a little bit. It's like, yeah, here's the metal and stuff. Like,
You took one?
yeah, I did. I let the cadet know.
It's like, yeah, what of it, Orchid?
Yeah,
Um,
yeah, one of an orchid basically.
You had one job, cadet.
And as he shows you guys the sword, and you guys talk it over for a few moments, over the kind of like the you guys get over the hill, and like in the rear view, the warehouse becomes hidden by mountains, as you guys just see, or you see smoke, and you hear an explosion goes off.
Back towards the warehouse?
Back towards the warehouse.
Winston, stop the car.
Winston immediately just car stops sideways on the road, and
Turns
your
back.
comms all open, and you just hear static, and you hear Squad 1, Squad 1, can you read me?
Orchid facepalm.
That
While
us?
one reads.
Yes, that's us.
He's like, I don't know what's happening. There seems to be, and you just hear a bunch of yelling and like just shooting, and people just like yelping.
Winston, go back to the warehouse.
Damn it.
Yeah, you tell Winston that?
Yeah.
Yeah, Winston immediately composes his hands on the wheel and rears around and goes back, and he's like, I don't, it's like, who are you? And the comm is still open at this point, and you just hear from a distance over the live mic, what's worse than a nightmare? I guess we'll find out. And then it just goes static. And you guys all hear that. And once again, that is you hear the voice of who you heard before, who claims to be Yarrow. Or I guess he never claimed himself. Did I don't think he said he was Yarrow.
No.
Yeah, no. But you hear the voice that you guys all heard before. Well, I guess only Soren and Orca would have heard it, and Benji. So yeah.
I wasn't the only one that not me and Thorsten, I think. Were
Yeah.
the only ones not here.
Mm-hmm.
Orchid is going to morph in the car, sitting down.
Same for Soren. Though I think it's funny to imagine us like sitting as we do go through
And
the
we
work.
morph.
You guys all morph in the car, just a light show, just
Hopefully, Winston has like the barrier between the limo and the back.
he
Reflects
looks
into-
in his mirror, and he sees that Orchid is in motion of morphing, and goes and whips out his shades and puts them on to not get blinded by the light, as all of you morph in doing a freaking give me a second.
Yeah, no problem.
Did you guys notice they updated the character sheet?
Yeah, so you guys get a freaking rave going on in the car as he drives back to the warehouse, and you guys just see that its roof is blown off. There's a hole in the side of the warehouse, and just it's in flames.
Do we see any movement?
No. All you see is the body of the cadet that you spoke with, the one that called you back. A little bit on the outside, who you could see from like kind of like a blood trail and just like the shifting in the grass, or the disturbance of the grass, that like he was able to like drag himself away from the building, and you guys could assume that's where the feed got cut off.
Yeah, as we pull up, Orchid would quickly open the door and rush out of the car.
Yeah. Do you like go like approach the body or?
Yeah, that'd be the first place he runs up to, summoning Foxfire.
Mm-hmm. You approach and you just see the cadet you spoke to before just clutching his chest and just with his eyes wide open in shock.
Is he like
Motionless.
fully bled out?
There's a decent bloody grass around him.
There's still like the vans that the Silver Guardians pulled up in, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, Orchid would then like run around to the front of the warehouse. Again, frantically looking around trying to see signs of anyone not dead.
You run around to the van and you see through like the front windshield holes with the driver of each van collapsed over the wheel.
Could I tell by the bullet holes like what caliber or like what kind of bullets these were? Like were these like handguns or like stronger rifle rounds?
It was a sniper rifle. You could definitely tell immediately that they were clean one shot, one kills. Very precise.
Are the horns blurring because like they slumped over the horn, or
No, they're not over the horn. It's not
No,
that. We don't. It's not that crazy of a scene. Come on.
Yeah, taking a look in the warehouse. How much of it has been destroyed?
Most, if not all of it. Like I said, the roof caved in, and all the bodies are charred and burning away. But you notice immediately that all of them have finite holes clean through their bodies, whether it's their head or their chests.
Jesus. I mean,
Orchid sort of stands in the middle of all this.
by the power of Grayskull.
Orchid,
Not religious.
roll me a d20 plus d2. Against your willpower.
Taking a while. A 4.
Yeah, as like you're taking in everything around you, being in the center of this carnage, and the room just feels like it spirals around you as you get taken back to a time very, very similar to this, where all around you is the carnage of the many, many Silver Guardian and defenseless civilian bodies laid around you, piled up, bullet holes through their chest, head, as you just stand over them, covered in all their innocent blood. With a lifeless look in your eyes. And then a hand reaches out to grab you on your shoulder. And you just hear, "Well done, Orchid." As you get brought back and you feel the weight on your shoulder as if you think someone's there and you react immediately, but no one's there.
Like as he twists around, breathing heavily, you can visibly see him, like his whole body moving with every breath. Still his head moving through like the tree line back to the burning warehouse, all the bodies to the van, and he's just like standing in the epicenter. Eventually his breath and movements slow down. Yeah, I think he would probably keep standing there until one of the others approaches him.
With that being said, Adam, Soren, and Thorsten, what do the rest of you do in this situation? As Orchid immediately goes into just like perimeter search and kind of goes into like one track mind. What do the rest of you do in this situation?
We probably shouldn't split up too much.
I think Adam will follow the blood trail to the cadet that's still there, I believe, or dying or juvenile, I guess.
Yeah.
So he'll follow the blood trail and just look for the cadet.
Yeah, like Orchid found him, you find him just there with his eyes like wide open, in like he just saw the devil himself, and him holding his chest, and you see there's a bunch of blood leaking from where he's holding.
I try and put pressure with my hands on the wound. What happened here, soldier?
You, being caught up in all of this, you immediately go into wanting to save this life, but the moment you apply pressure onto this guy and try to talk to him, your realization finally kicks in over your instincts, and you realize that even though the flames are so bright and you feel the heat on your skin, this torso, these hands that you're holding and you're applying pressure to, start feeling cold as the heat slowly escapes his body. No movement, no sound from him.
Adam lets go and kneels next to the cadet. Before I do my next move, did we agree on on like my power, like actually talk to dead people type of deal? Or is this still kind of like in the works?
You can definitely do it.
Okay. I'm going to just close my eyes and just like I think out of instinct, like and open back up, and I kind of like see the cadet there, like kind of like transparent looking, I would say.
Yeah, I'll say you close your eyes and you take in what just happened, the feeling of a life in your hands slipping away, not that you caused, but another one that you've experienced, and you just keep repeating the question why, how. You just want answers. You want to understand why this makes sense, why you keep dealing with these tragedies. And as your eyes open, there's a glow behind your eyes, almost like a contact, as everything around you kind of goes saturated, goes black and white, and you just see the burning building as you see the cadet crawling away, and you hear him over the comms. Squad 1, Squad 1, can you read me? I don't know what happened, but explosion. They're picking us off. And you just see him crawling away, and he turns over, holding himself. and then from the fires you see this figure come out and walk over the cadet, and he's completely black, just like hollowed out, and you just hear his words again. What is worse than a nightmare? I suppose we'll find out, as you just hear the ringing shot once again through your ears, and then the body going lifeless before you. And as you blink again, everything kind of goes back to normal, and you see this entity in front of you hovering over the dead cadet, a little wisp.
Adam kind of like cups the wisp or with one of his hands. And cadet kind of like pokes at it with his pinky, like. I never got your name. What was your name? Cadet Wilson.
Wilson. You look down and you can see on his on his Kevlar vest kind of like thing. It says Cody.
Cody. Cody. I like also still cusping the wisp. Cadet Cody. What happened first here after we left? I know the explosions and everything happened, but where was the shots coming from?
I
Like hearing a voice, Adam kind of like stirs back a little bit. Like, oh god, it worked.
and it's kind of like you hear kind of like somewhat of like an echo or like a faint voice. I don't know. It's very cold. I feel alone.
You're before I even like asking him questions. You're not alone. You're not gonna be alone anymore. There's when you're not gonna be alone anymore. You're always gonna be with someone. I know that. There's always gonna be people there to keep you company.
And the wisp burns brighter in your hand as you finish your words to it. That figure, he is. He's a human, but he's worse than the devil himself.
Can you anything will help? Can you describe him, Cody?
He had a hood on and had a sniper.
Did you see a face? Anything?
Just these glowing red eyes from underneath the shadows of his hood.
Like hearing the glowing red eyes part, his eyes just like go wide open, like, oh no, not again. Um, um, what was the last thing you saw, Cody?
I last thing I saw was the face of of a demon. And then all I could really think of was my mother. And you see the wisp in your hand burning even brighter.
I kind of uncup the wisp finally, and thank you, Cody, for everything. I'll let your mother know that you loved her, and go in peace. And I do like a little like cross thing that he can do, like Adam's little thing.
And then the wisp finally burns a little bit brighter as it like almost burns out and fades into the sky. And then in that moment of silence, after a few seconds, you just hear, boss? What was that?
I don't know. I was talking to Cody, the cadet, right now, I guess.
Well, yeah, I mean, I saw that, but that's not the issue.
What's the issue?
I see ghosts all the time. The issue is that you saw the ghost.
Am I not supposed to see them? Also,
yeah. I mean, that's kind of a thing for, like, you know, my family, you know, the Grim Reaper and everything.
Yeah, Charlie, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess it just happened. I closed my eyes and I saw everything from that he saw basically. I was able to talk to him for a little bit. Hopefully, I give him some comfort. He said he was cold and alone. I tried to comfort him.
Yeah. A lot of souls feel that way. It's.
Do you think he liked that the way I told him, like he won't be alone? You think that will help?
Well,
in some way.
He kind of like scratches against his like jaw. It's not really the conventional way to reap souls, but
Wait, Ichiba, are you telling me I reap the soul? Is that what you're telling me?
I mean, in a way, you didn't use the scythe and you didn't like open up a gate to hell or to heaven. The very, very, very rare times souls go up there, but you were able to burn it out and have it wither away.
Alan looks at hands and looks up at Ichibod. Ichibod, am I the Grim Reaper now?
He just.
And I think we just hard cut to someone else after that to make it like funny or something.
Am I the Grim Reaper now? Yeah, Soren and Thorsten, what are you guys doing?
Thorsten, you can go first.
Well, he's frankly taken aback from all the, carnage in front of him, given they were just there before taking the time to, search for any potential survivors. Not that he has the highest hopes after that. And also find any signs of the one who clearly was responsible for this.
Yeah, I want both of you to give me, I suppose, investigation, so like alertness, but subcategory investigation. Everything's alertness, honestly.
Sure.
with a subcategory in this system.
But I'm always like, no, that's only for initiative.
22.
At 20, man.
And that is indeed a crit
It is.
success.
It is. It is.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm sorry for your loss.
Inspire yourself,
Yeah,
Soren.
like,
Come on.
I see the culprit down here. This ant.
You squished the ant. I did it. I win. No, yeah. So Soren, you are looking around and you can't find anything. There's just the bodies, blood, and you just so much carnage that you can't. There's nothing to find. It's just blood. It's just it's just carnage. There's nothing to piece together here from what you can see or what you're able to put together. Thorsten, on the other hand, you looking around and observing everything, you dealing with issues like this in the past, you also get a flashback. You flash back to a situation very similar to this as you stroll up in your Silver Guardians van with your team at the time, seeing a uh, one of your civilian camps in ruin, and you just see a bunch of bodies of civilians that were held here and Silver Guardians that were posted here, and you see in the distance two figures walking off, but too far for you to do anything. And you get shot back to reality as this carnage, these wounds, this MO is identical to that incident you remember witnessing back all those years.
Yeah, he'll just kind of go through his mental flashback of that, remembering as he's, autopilot moving through everything. Thinking back of, one of the last times back in their original timeline of dealing with this before, getting back to searching for anything to help him catch it. And since it was only clearly one person, he can have a feeling that he knows, like, if this is reminding him of the past, he's pretty sure he knows that Orchid's hunch is probably true.
Or Orchid learned to be in two places at once, and he did this.
There are two orchids.
True, but this Orchid is like a playboy.
Maybe, but he does look just like Yarrow. They are twins.
Uh-huh.
Anyways, no, that was just yeah, so that happens for you. I would say at this point this is when all of your guys' individual instances catch you back up to real time and back to the to reality, and you guys realize and see amongst everything that it's just the four of you looking back and forth between one another and everything that's happening, and it's just the quiet land around you with just the blazing of the fire and the cold feeling of the wind against your suit.
In my head, gonna say, Kiku,
Yes.
This isn't right. This shouldn't be happening.
Well, I agree. So many unfortunate souls.
I mean, more my brother being behind all of this.
Well, crazier has happened. My long lost brother, who I thought was banished forever, appeared. I guess it's now out of the realms of reality for your brother from another universe to also appear.
Well, to be fair, your brother had a bunch of spells and magical nonsense. How would my brother have gotten here?
Well, how did you guys get here?
The urn. Which is here now.
The rupture of that gateway happened from immense yokai energy leaked out of the urn. If there was strong enough yokai energy, immense enough to rapture reality itself, another rupture could have produced a gateway. But that's
Saying a yokai could have brought my brother here. Do you know of any yokai that powerful to do that on their own?
well, it took the collective force of the five of us and the other yokai spirits stuck in that urn to produce that one. And looking at how much of a difficulty it was to take down my late brother, he possibly alone, along with his forbidden spells, could have had access to create such a rupture. Perhaps one of his last tricks before his finale.
Orchid would look back towards the others. Flames. And would sort of defeatedly begin walking back towards the van.
No sign of the attacker, they say.
As Orchid walks by, just responds, "No, I don't think so."
Just walks by, ignores Soren's like, hey.
He's not that dejected just yet. Maybe Thorsten, but
Adam goes up towards to Orchid, like, hey, Orchid, I need to ask you something.
He doesn't stop walking, but he looks over and says, "What?"
Your brother. What weapons did he use mainly?
We were trained in many different kinds of weaponry. I tend to specialize in the longer range. He was more of the up close cleanup. But both of us were capable of doing the other's job.
And what color were his eyes? The color of his eyes. What were they?
Jeez, what color is Orchid's eyes? Orchid's eyes blue? They look blue.
I don't know. I feel that's something you would know.
It
Yeah.
seems like something I should know.
Yeah, you should know.
Yeah. His eyes were blue.
Your brother's eyes were blue. Well, I don't know how this worked, but I talked to the cadet. His name is Cody. Um he he told me that he saw red eyes in the hood with a sniper rifle. Um and he didn't know where the attack was coming from. He said he saw the devil himself.
Red eyes.
Yeah, red eyes.
Orchid ponders for a second. Maybe. Maybe yokai are behind this.
You think it's Gurren again?
Could have been a contingency plan of his.
I don't know. And look walks defeated to the cart and still looking at his hands, like the palms and like the back.
Yeah. So then, hearing that, he will ask Kiku again. In this area, did you feel any traces of yokai energy at all? That isn't ours.
No, I can't say that I do or did. I do feel a pit of negative energy though, but that's just all these poor souls.
Remember the first hooded individual we killed in that parking garage with Benji? There was that dark aura, that cloud. Do you have any idea what that was?
No, it's impossible. And she just kind of like her words kind of just drift away without like finishing the sentence. But with something like clearly like on her mind.
Impossible? Well, do you know of something that could explain this, even if it's unlikely?
Well, there's no point in discussing the dead, is there?
Well, I think the dead are very relevant at this point.
The dead stay dead. And there's nothing else to it. And you hear her voice kind of break a little bit, different from her typical almighty way of speech. I would like to leave now.
Orchid would keep walking to the van.
And you
probably be the first one to get in like the passenger seat.
would you demorph at this point, or would you still stay morphed?
Yeah, after he gets inside the van, he would do more.
Yeah. And like on your at the end of that conversation with Kiku, like you could feel on your body. It's not for a moment you catch yourself wondering if it's your anxiety or your heartbeat for everything that's going on and the rekindled memories and issues with your brother, but then you realize you're surprisingly calm, and this sense of anxiousness you're feeling is coming from Kiku as you demorph and you don't no longer feel it shrouding you.
Yeah, I'm assuming Kiku sort of pops out and is in front of me.
Yeah.
Sort of like shifts his sniper rifle to the side, relaxing more. Looking at Kiku, he goes, "Well, whenever you feel like talking about it, I'm here." And he'll leave that alone.
You just see her little chibi tails kind of just like curl up. And she kind of just looks out the window, just aimlessly at the fire shining against the pupils of her eyes as she just kind of spaces out. Do the rest of you follow Orchid into the van?
Yeah, I think so. If there's no other tracks we can find, and I've been totally blind to any traces or anything that might help us, then I think I'd head back to the van.
Yeah.
Yeah, if I can't find anything else, then yeah, I'd return and just step in, kind of staying silent as I did so.
And then this,
Adam looking at his hands and the back of his hands, like, am I the Grim Reaper? Like in his head, like, am I actually the Grim Reaper now?
you just hear Ichiban echo in your head, like, shut up.
I just keep on saying it. I just ignore Ichiban.
Ah. And this time, it is a quiet ride back to the mansion as Winston decides to play a soft tune on the radio. You guys arrive back to the mansion and you guys pile out of the car with a restrained individual, loading him up into the makeshift med bay in the infirmary ward of the manor, hooking him up, shackling him to the gurney. Eric walks in as Persephone is taking care of everything. Takes a look at all of you. What a... I got the reports of what happened to the other team. Are you guys okay?
Peachy.
Still breathing.
He sighs deeply. Well, through everything that's been happening, we have to take the wins where we can. At least we have a hostage that we could question. And then he looks over at Adam, and I see that you got a you're able to nab one of the weapons. I see.
Yeah, and I pull out the sword. You want? Do you want to see it? And I unsheath it slightly,
He gestures his hand out.
put it back, and like give it to Eric.
He unsheaths it completely and kind of just like looks it over. This thing could end a ranger just like that. He shakes his head and sheaths it back up. The world we live in now, I suppose. Well, now that we have this, I suppose we'll try to go run some tests on this in the lab and question this guy in the morning once he's woken up. The rest of you, get some rest. It's been a long day and a long night. I'll see you guys bright and early.
Eric, I have a question. What about the families of the last team? I imagine they'd be notified.
Care packages are being delivered to their households as we speak.
Can I send an extra one to a specific address?
I suppose that wouldn't be an issue.
All right. Like Adam quickly like looks for a piece of paper and like writes down like a quick message writes down a quick message and like gives like folds it up and gives it to Eric. Like uh this is for Cadet Cody. I didn't catch his last name.
He takes the paper and he kind of just like looks at it and looks at you. He's like, I'll have this sent out first thing in the morning.
Thank you, Eric. And Adam walks off.
As you guys all retreat back to your rooms, how do you guys decompress from yet another lovely day in Silver Hills?
Yeah, I don't think there's a lot of decompressing going on for Orchid.
We're just
But-
compressing.
Just compressing further and further. Yeah, I think Orchid would like walk into his room. I don't think he would even turn the lights on. There would just be the ambient moonlight shining in through the window. As he goes in and then takes off the equipment that he had on him, his shoes, and just sort of sits on the side of the bed, thinking over what he's seen, the bodies, the bullet holes, the amount of destruction in the amount of time that it happened, what he heard over the comms, what he saw before with the shadowy clouds and the disappearing body, and then what he was told now by Kiku and by Adam about Yaro's eyes. And he just begins running through possibilities in his head, thinking of like how yokai have acted in the past. The fact that Kiku said that she didn't sense any yokai energy this time or last time when they encountered that sort of shroud. He thinks back to his original universe, the technology available to them, if anything he saw being used by the mutants could do anything similar to this. If any of the mutants there exhibited any sort of powers. I'm sure he knows that like Ransik had some weird future mutant magic, like telekinesis and stuff.
Yeah, Ransik was
It's
able to
like
do stuff.
he's trying to think if like some sort of these could be some sort of like mutant powers or something. Um and he would just be trying to wrap his head around this whole situation for like hours, I would imagine, until like either morning comes or he passes out from exhaustion.
What about Adam, Soren, and Thorsten? How do your evenings look?
Um, I guess Adam will go. So Adam walks into his room, not like on. It's a different vibe than before. I would say like he's not as super depressed as before. He's actually just like neutral in emotion. He grabs his laptop and checks his emails to see if anything happened with the like silver tongue. The silver tongue. If there's anything from there.
Yeah, as in the dark, the shining of the laptop in your face as you're looking through, you get you do have a tagged email, that was tagged important. It was a reply to your application. You got another email from the Silver Tongue, saying congratulations on your internship. We decided to go ahead with you as one of our um, on board starting trainees. We really liked the pictures you took, and we think you'll be a really good asset to the team.
Does it say like a start date or anything? Like, well, when they come into the office or whatever.
And then if when you scroll down a little bit more, it does say to it gives the address of the Silver Tongue, and it says what is it? It's Thursday night. It's Thursday night. It says to meet on Monday at 8 a.m.
Oh, okay. Um, I close. Actually, I keep the laptop open. I want to take out my phone, like where it was recording everything, and look through all the recording and the footage that I got. And as I finish rewatching the footage and stuff, um, I want to edit it and like cut out all the audio, or cut out the audio from like us, where it, like mentioned us and stuff,
Mm-hmm.
and just like have the audio of just a speaker mainly talking, and like cut out like any comms that we might have gone through,
Mm-hmm.
and just like save that in the folder and like mark it as and like hide it basically in my laptop.
Gotcha. Okay.
Adam closes his laptop and like cracks his fingers, puts his hands over his head and itchy bud. Seems like I got a job or an internship actually.
Yeah. Yeah. Good job, Adam. I know you wanted this, and we uh, we need a distraction from all this. It'll be a good change of pace. New week,
Definitely.
new start.
You start, yeah. So I know I ignored you all the whole ride back to the mansion. Um, but am I actually the Grim Reaper now? Like, what is this? What did I do? I get I'll reap the soul, but like, what was that? I've never done that before.
You
And that power I had back at the warehouse.
okay? Well, one thing at a time, Adam.
Yes, of course. Yeah, I'm getting ahead of myself.
The power back in the warehouse, that was, you tapped into the negativity in your soul. You let it leak out. And for a moment, it took a hold of you. And the yokai presence, my essence within, shrouded your soul. And then he like scratched the back of his skull. It was fighting for dominance. And this tether that we have, there's a balance for the most part. But when emotions get too strong, good or bad, positive or negative, one outstruggles the other and starts consuming. You tapped into more of the yokai within you rather than the humanity within. Without you knowing, of course, and essentially my power was able to be released for a limited amount of time. In this realm, any of us can't fully let out our true forms. We don't have the capabilities in this realm. But when we have a host, a Kaizen, we're able to let out a little bit more power. It's not good to use too much of it if you want to live a long life.
So what I basically did back at the warehouse, both with that power when I was morphed and when I talked to Cody and reaped his soul, basically, I was tapping into your power, a
Yes.
yokai power.
Yeah. The thing with Cody, you used the Shinigami eyes. That's only something my people could do. It's how we talk to souls and lay them to rest and bring them over. We're the passageway between heaven and hell, but mostly hell, like I mentioned. But that's not the point.
Yeah, that's something else. Yeah, that's,
But a mere human being able to use my Shinigami eyes, that's unheard of. I'm at a loss for words myself about it, honestly. But the more you tap into my powers and allow me to leak out into this realm, it in the moment it might feel good. It might give you a sense of godlike essence. It might feel like you're doing something, but it's not good. And normally, can't believe I'm saying this. Normally, I usually don't care, but I think I'm
Yeah.
starting to
Come on, you know you want to say it. Adam just like kind of pokes at him slightly,
That's
like, come on, just say
and he
it.
like swats at your finger. I like you, Adam. Okay,
Oh, itchy bod.
shut up. You're not like the other souls I've partnered with or consumed, mainly consumed. And especially since I haven't been with a Kaizen in quite a long time. I don't want this partnership to end anytime soon.
Yeah, me neither, buddy. And like, Adam puts his hands over his head again, and it begins to whistle his favorite tune. You know what it is. And as he begins to like midway into the whistle, he like shoots back forward. Wait, Ichibod, is your uncle gonna get mad at me because I just reaped a soul? And again, hard cut to someone else.
Soren,
Yeah.
what are you doing in preparation for sleep, if you even sleep?
Yeah, no, Soren sleeps. He sleeps, he eats, he does stuff. I think that usually, after the day that they've had first with the fight, and first there was the kidnapping, then the fight, then having to go back and deal with the laser shooting situation. I think that it takes a bit to unwind and meditate before he goes to sleep. And during the time he is considering, how he was able to aid the team today, and despite the fact that he failed to track down anybody. In terms of the later situation, he wasn't as alert as he could have been. He does feel like he was able to help the team, and he's wondering maybe he can start reaching out to them more and aiding in the fight. He doesn't need to be the leader. He says to himself, but he can still do something. Yeah.
For sure. You also notice, I'll say, as like you're as you're like changing and you're getting ready for bed and you're having this deep thought, you notice the cut that you got on your shoulder area, almost collarbone, from the blade. You notice now that it's healed and there's like a little scarring of where it was.
Okay.
Um,
I sort of like rub at it.
yeah, and you kind of remember back to like how like the sensation, it felt very different, because you've been cut, you've been shot at, you've been, you dealt with a lot of stuff, but like the feeling of this cut was not of anything you've ever felt before, and it kind of just, you kind of remember that as you rub it. Shooting over, zooming through the hallway to the next door, Thorsten, how are you doing your evening? If you're alive.
He's not.
Thorsten.
Polo.
Unfortunate.
I guess he died. He died on the way back to his home planet.
Planet.
I'm cutting back to Orchid for more screen time.
Going back to Orchid, just looking out the window. He's still looking out the window. Now back over to Adam. Adam, you also notice as you get like ready for...
Adam's staring out the window, yeah.
Adam's
We're all
also
staring out the window.
Everyone's staring out the window, looking at their own moon. There's 5 different moons. Adam, as you get into your skeleton, like green skeleton PJs,
Yes, that I make canon.
you also notice like in the mirror, like the cut that was on your forearm, healed with a scarring. You completely forgot about it with everything that was happening, but it healed with like a scarring of sorts, and it when you look at it, it kind of just brings you back to when you first got cut and that singeing feeling that you got, and then you kind of like snap out of it for a moment, but it's definitely a feeling you haven't felt ever through all the different gunfights, sword fights that you've been through the past year or so.
To get more screen time with everyone's favorite character, Adam, he's gonna touch the forearm where he got cut. He's gonna touch it and see if like it stings or anything.
No, you
As
don't.
you touch it, sad music begins to play. He begins to recall all of his friends.
His father and everything. Yeah. He wants to look at the mirror. Actually, he wants to look at the
you see
mirror.
yourself.
And he pulls up his phone to look up a picture of this universe's version of Adam to see what he could do different or look different.
Okay.
So you say he looks a little bit older than me and like has shorter hair or longer hair. You said
He has shorter hair. You have the longer hair.
I have longer hair.
Yeah.
Okay. It's I'm guessing it's both like it's black also.
Yeah.
Does he have facial hair?
No.
No. Okay.
It's funny because he looks older, but like he looks more mature, but you look older in the sense of like the stress and the scarring and just like the weight of like lack of sleep and everything. Like you have like the look of like the rough aging versus him. He just like looks more mature. Like all his pictures, like he looks very like well kept and very just like he knows how to like carry himself.
Okay. Hey, Ichiba, take this down for a list, please. As I'm looking at my phone at this version of Adam. Hair dye. A fake mustache. And sunglasses.
He's like, is this necessary, boss?
Yes, trust me. I've seen enough movies to do this. Okay, I can do this.
He takes a pencil and he sits down, kind of like he takes it in two of his hands. He kind of just like scribbles down this list.
Then what do we need for groceries for the house? Since I'm going out basically. And again, I guess it goes to someone else for more screen time after that.
Question is Thorsten alive?
Yeah, that's the question.
No, Thorsten's still dead.
Hey guys, I'm Thorsten.
No, I'm Thorsten.
Oh yeah?
No, I'm Thorsten.
I am Spartacus.
Yeah.
Oh god. Why was that so on point though?
I've trained for many days and nights in my Kitu arts.
To be Thorsten Redgrave.
Throw my voice perfectly.
Yeah, my voice is also great.
Oh lord.
Shit, I thought there was two of you.
But yeah, we'll cut
Four
to
Thorsons.
we'll cut to night, as I need both Adam, Orchid, and Soren to all roll me a d20 plus a d2 against your guys' willpower.
Devin, you know I never roll well on these.
Then I mean
Wait, D20 plus 2 or D20
plus a d2. So yeah.
Oh.
Devin,
This
come
is not a
on.
laughing matter. This is not a laughing matter.
Oh, it's not?
Crap. Bumble.
Every time, man.
My
I
willpower.
can't
You
catch a
said?
break.
I was one off, dude. One. Oh, I can reroll ones. Come on.
This is the
This is a weapon. I
Orchid
just use-
anti-arc.
Oh.
What did I say? But rewind the tape.
I'm
real
not
quick.
laughing. You're laughing.
Oh my god.
Come on, I can reroll
Oh my
ones.
god. Soren, give me a d20 plus a d2, please.
D20.
That roll literally cannot be worse.
It was worse than Adam.
I guess we're having nightmares, fellas. Come on.
Got
Do my
you.
dice explode backwards?
Roll another d20 to add more of a negative.
A negative 10.
Yeah, so all you guys fail. You guys all fail your willpower. That's fun. All right.
I was off by one, dude, which is annoying. Off by one.
Let's start from bottom to top here. Starting with Soren with his 7. Yeah, at least, hey, you're close, Adam. You're close.
I was kind of close.
If you're counting negative numbers, I suppose.
Maybe.
Jesus Christ. Soren, you're sleeping and you remember back with your brigade of people, your freedom fighters, and you remember the good times with your friends and everything that was happening. And you remember, laughing, having fun through all the issues that's going around you, knowing to take what is going on here and, well, good. And then you remember one night when it was just you, Marcy, and Xander talking over some drinks by a fire, where Xander shifted and in that moment tore down your trust, and right before you took Marcy away from you and everything else you've built in this time, as all around you is just fire and debris. And you just remember the Silver Guardians finding you and rescuing you from the aftermath of the carnage.
Yeah.
And you wake up in the morning in a heap of sweat.
Okay. That was awful.
And you just remember that look on Xander's face, the last look you saw on him. Everything he's ever told you is a lie, and all the stories and memories you share with him were all fake.
Yeah. I remember getting that mocking note from him too. That jerk.
Cutting to Adam's room. Adam, you call back to a peaceful time. The sun shining bright. A field with trees. And your father there with you. Taking some photos. And you remember the smile on your mom's face, the few memories of your mother that you have that's not in forms of pictures, and just the happiness that she had, and the beauty of the world around you, as you slowly see everything get saturated and crumble around you, and you see this dark figure rise up behind your smiling mother, and you shout and you scream, but to no avail. You just see a blade pierce through her chest, and as she slumps over from the figure, these gazing, bright, red eyes staring you down. As everything just crumbles around you and you wake up in the morning in a heap of sweat.
Damn.
And now to Orchid,
I guess.
who rolled
Natural one twice.
the best possible roll for this.
The most fitting role.
You have a dream from your childhood, a time that you thought you possibly couldn't remember. It was you, your brother, your father, your mother, and your parents were sitting on the side watching over you guys, just chatting as you and your brother were playing around in the sand by the water. And you guys are skipping rocks, writing things in the sand, playing make-believe. And at one point your brother asks you, Orchid, I had a really bad dream last night, and it made me wonder, like, this world that we live in, it's only us, but that nightmare felt so real. Do you think there's anything out there that's worse than one's nightmares?
Do I get to respond? Or...
You can. If you know how to play innocent Orchid.
I mean, spiders are pretty scary.
Yeah. And he kind of just like chuckles. Yes, spiders are scary, Orchid, but I mean, you know, life and death and heaven and hell and just, I don't know, it just, that nightmare really screwed with me. I don't know, maybe it's nothing, but have you ever wondered if there's more out there? I don't.
Like in space?
Yeah. In space.
It could be like aliens and stuff, yeah.
Doesn't that scare you?
Should it?
I mean, we don't know what aliens are or what they want with us if they ever do find us, right? What if they annihilate us or worse? I don't. The unknown is scary.
I don't like how you're talking, Yarrow. You okay?
It's probably just the bad dreams. It's nothing. I just thought maybe speaking out loud would, you know, kind of just take it off my mind and just kind of put it to rest. Don't mind that. And then you see the shine of as he like looks over at you, and like the sun in the background shines over him, kind of blinding his face for a moment and blinding your vision. And then when the sun gets covered and you're able to see again, you just see ambers flying around you as you see now Yarrow as you know him now, staring at you with his soulless eyes. You need to be careful, brother, or you're gonna end up like these pathetic humans.
Is it still at like the beach?
No. So now like around you is just like collapsed buildings and stuff like that, and just like there's just some embers of fire and like some bodies all over the place. So you're just kind of like somewhere like downtown Silver Hills.
Am I still a kid or am I also now?
You're also older,
Cool.
remembering a different memory of Yarrow extending a hand to get you back up.
Yeah. Sorry, I guess I just got distracted. I reach up and grab his hand.
And as he picks you up, he looks at you and he's like, it looks like he wants to say something, and then he just turns around and walks away. And then he stops for a moment over a body where he pulls out his blade that he had in them, and he kind of just like slashes it to like kind of like spray the blood off of it. Do you remember that question I asked you all those years ago, Orchid? As he kind of looks over his blade and kind of like sees you in the reflection, looks through it and like sees you in like the reflection of it behind him. What can be worse than one's nightmare?
Yeah, I do remember it.
I think I found that answer.
What is it?
As he puts down his sword to his side, and he turns like he starts to turn around, and you just hear, "It's me." As you see these glowing red eyes coming from his pupils, and then a flash of lightning happens as everything goes dark, as you just see a quick flash of Guden's face over Yarrow's, and then you wake up to the blaring sound of your alarm in a complete pool of sweat.
Orchid awakes, like gasping for air, heart pounding, frantically looks around, almost blinded by this light. Reaches over to turn off the alarm, misses a couple times before slamming the top of it as he's breathing heavily. Looks around. Does Orchid see Kiku anywhere?
Yeah, you Kiku is sitting on the night table next to the alarm, and when you after you slam it and you like look over, you see her there, just inches away from it, looking at you with kind of like a shiver in her body and fur.
Orchid is breathing heavily, practically shaking as he steadies himself, holding onto the nightstand. He probably like fell asleep, not even like under the covers or anything, just like on top of the bed. as he slowly pushes himself off the bed and gets up. I had a bad dream.
Yeah, I can see that. Um, I did too.
You have dreams?
Yes, Orchid. Even us yokai have dreams when we sleep.
What did you dream about?
Well, it seems like even in sleep we're connected. My dreams seem to have spilled over into yours and yours into mine.
Thinking back, that the first part of the dream of our childhood, thinking back, is that like a real memory that Orchid has had, or was that completely fabricated? Like, did Yarrow actually have some sort of conversation like that with him before?
Yeah. Yeah, when you guys were younger, you remember him being kind of like out of it for a little bit because he had like a really bad nightmare that he didn't really want to talk about.
And the second part of the dream,
That was more fabricated.
that was completely fabricated.
Yeah. But could have been kind of a mixture of a memory that because of like
That was twisted, yeah.
Yeah, because you've been in so many different battles.
They all just kind of blend together, you know?
Yeah, they kind of do.
It sort of gets his bearings, refocuses on what's real and what isn't. And then goes to like take a shower and get ready for the day.
Yeah. I would I would want to do a Thorsten check, but I think he's actually dead. Yeah, he is pretty dead, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. Right. May his soul rest in peace.
Rip Thorsten.
Try to talk to his soul. Maybe you'll find out what happened to him, Adam.
Yeah, Adam goes to his room and like cups his wisp, looks for his wisp.
I gotta find it in time before Charlie takes it to the underworld.
If Charlie takes it away.
Now we all know where Thorsten's sending up.
Oh. Just
Well,
as
he hasn't died in battle.
just a heads up. I need to hop off around like 10:30 latest tonight. Sorry.
No, but yeah. So Sword and Adam, do you guys also hit the showers to kind of just like wash away all the sweat and try to like decompress just a tiny bit?
Gotta wash my PJs, my skeleton green PJs.
Oh yeah, poor things.
Yeah.
Yeah. I would say at one point when you guys are done with that, you guys go eat your typical breakfast, in the diner, and Benji's nowhere to be found. Persephone comes in and talks to you guys for a little bit and mentions, "Oh yeah, Benji decided to go to the lab very bright and early. They're working on some gadgets and such and kind of doing more research. Apparently trying to like do some upgrades of sorts or trying to like, give you guys some more firepower, more umph, as they put it. But yeah, so he should be back soon.
Hey, Persephone.
Yes, Adam.
Um, kind of, kind of a private question, and Alan just walks towards her. Um, do you know how to dye hair?
She kind of just like looks at you and is like taken aback a little bit. She's like, yeah, I could definitely do that.
Yeah, can you teach me?
Uh, sure. Are you trying to dye your hair?
Yeah, yeah. Of course.
Oh, sure. What are we? What color are we dyeing it?
Um, I think blonde to get it as yeah, a blonde.
Um, oh, uh,
There's like a stutter in Adam's voice, like still. Yeah, it was like that stutter like it actually is Adam.
yeah, we could definitely do that. It just depends how light you want to go, and hopefully we don't damage your hair because bleaching it is definitely a dangerous process. How are we trying to go, like platinum blonde or like just a little frosty or like what's what?
I w- I wanted to see as like unrecognizable as myself, you know.
She kind of just like
Kind of,
flick.
kind of like if you're a new person, you know.
She looks at you and she's like, yeah, okay, platinum blonde it is.
Yeah.
And she's like, well, we're gonna have to get some things from the store. Um, uh, so we could go grocery shopping for it, I suppose. When do you want to go?
Whenever it seems we're not busy today, no monster attacking the city, you know. Um, and I think the guy, the prisoner is still in the infirmary, correct?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That was the other thing I wanted to come mention to you guys. He he's stable. He like woke up a little bit earlier, but then fell back to sleep. Might have been a little too much of a dosage I gave him to just make sure that all his injuries wouldn't affect him. But he should be coming to later today. And you guys could, question him and do you guys' thing. She does like a little shimmy.
Um, yeah, I guess we're available. I guess I'm available. I guess we can go right now if we need to.
Yeah. If you're done with breakfast, we could go now.
Yeah, that's great. You guys want to come grocery shopping with us?
Sure. Sure.
Orchid?
Grocery shopping.
Grocery shopping for Orchid?
Um, I'll tag along. Sure.
Yeah, let's go grocery shopping. Adam's like excited, like yeah, kind of like feigning excitement, like yeah, grocery shopping.
Orchid could not seem more out of it.
Yeah, you guys head to downtown. You guys go towards the store. Um,
The silver shopper, as it's
the
called.
silver shopper. Oh lord, silver shopper. Um, yeah, you guys head towards the store, and you guys start doing your little shopping. Do you guys stay like as a group, or do you guys kind of like just like Orchid or Soren just like wander around just mindlessly?
I think I walk with Persephone, so that's
Orchid would be staying with the group. He wouldn't have a reason to go off.
Mm-hmm. I suppose you as well, Soren, or do you have any other agendas at this store?
going to a flower shop.
Definitely grab some candy.
Gotta grab that candy. Goes to the flower shop. I hate you.
What do we do
Actually,
with those
I was going
flowers?
on a walk to the flower shop.
Yeah. As you guys are walking, um, so you guys go down this one aisle, and you guys notice that the aisles, they they don't have a back to them, so like they the different aisles, when you like, if there's like a row empty of something, you can see into the other aisles. So some of the stuff are like there's some like holes and divots, you guys see like other people walking by and things like that. And at one point, Adam, Soren, and Persephone and Orchid, you guys are down this one aisle looking at stuff, getting like hair bleach and other products and stuff. And while they're at it, she's also like tossing some like few like different grocery stuffs into the basket, to the shopping cart.
A pack of fake mustaches. Like,
Yeah, we can't forget that one too.
Yeah.
Shades,
And shades,
baseball
yeah.
cap. Sorry, soccer hat. It has to be a soccer.
Yeah. A soccer jersey. I found a soccer jersey in the grocery store.
But yeah, and then at one point, Orchid, you actually you walk by, and behind you, like a can of like hairspray falls off the shelf.
Yeah, Orchid would turn around, seeing what fell, and then would look up to where it seemingly fell from.
Yeah, you look down and you see on the floor it's a bottle of like a red hairspray dye. And you look up for where it fell from, and in the shelf you can actually see through the other side, because there was nothing else in the row, and you see a hooded person, and you only see that side of their face, and you hear, "What seems to be the matter, brother?"
Orchid would freeze up. You know the thing where you blink really hard when you see something?
Just, come again?
Like, blinks
Oh, like you put extra force in the blink, like
into the blink to be like, hold on, what was that?
Maybe I gotta just, yeah, you just see this hooded person, you see the side, and just that hanging question.
You're not real.
What do you mean? I'm as real as you are. Just worrying about my little brother. This is not you. You have too much emotion. Used to be a killer.
Orchid would quickly glance towards where the others were. They don't seem to be reacting to this at all.
No, at this point they kind of like went more down the aisle, almost like about to leave it, not noticing that you stayed behind with the fallen hairspray can.
I was saved by the Silver Guardians. We can do the same for you, okay?
Saved. You lost, Orchid. You weren't strong enough to stop them. And they took you. And now you're the shell of your former self.
I have friends now. People that actually care about me.
And if you cared about me, as you do these so-called friends, your own blood, your brother, you wouldn't have left me in that hellhole alone.
I can help you now. You just gotta stop whatever it is you're doing. They'll forgive you. Like they did me.
You see his figure twitch a little bit. You don't get it, Orchid. There's no turning back. There's no forgiveness to be done. Remember that question I asked you all those years ago?
At the beach.
When everything seemed to be fine. Just you, me, our parents. And I had that stupid nightmare. What can be worse than one's nightmare? You remember that?
Very vividly, yes.
For better or worse, I found the answer to my question.
Are you here to share that with me? Is that why we're talking right now?
It's more to say goodbye. I broke free from my brainwash just like you did. But I made a deal with the devil himself.
What was that deal?
He promised me my deepest desire in exchange for my soul.
What is your desire?
And then he takes off his hood and you see his face for the first time in a very long time. And he looks at you between the hole of the aisle. And you see his eyes. And you see a tear stream down his right eye. To see my kid brother one more time. As you see this withering, decrepit, like dark, like veins, almost like vines, veiny vine-ish type deal of like fire kind of just like start wrapping around him. And he just gives you a smile and he's like, I love you, Orchid. And he just wisps away, and all you see left in the little hole that you can see is a withered flower petal that shatters like glass. And with that, we will call today's session.
Actually, for a second, I think this color would look better.
You just hear that in the background.
As it fades to black and the Shadow Omens logo pops up, like, oh, I think this color looks nice.
Well, it was sad this time that Thorsten died.
That's fine. Adam will just reap his soul back to life.
Yeah.
Upper underground reaper.
Anti-reap the soul.
Anti-reap the soul.
And you like glue it back together. Make it Usually you reap, you just glue it instead.
True. He's like, nope. He just takes a glue stick and just glues it right back to his chest. It's like, nope, you're going back.
That's my version of the scythe. It's a glue stick.
It's a glue
Almost
stick.
glue.
But yeah, so with that being said, that concludes episode 20 of Power Rangers Shadow Omens. Appreciate everyone that tuned in. Until next time. Deuces.